Hello, 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 everyone. Hope you all are having a fantastic morning so far. It is Tuesday. We are back for our afternoon stream. Getting things sorted here. It sounds like we will not have a Jason here today. So it's just going to be just the two of us. By two, I mean you and many of me. Yes. How scary would that be? 15 bajillion, 15 copies of me and 1 copies of chat. Sounds like fun. What's up, Paint Liquor? Arctic Mini. Tim, Phoenix, what's up? Mo, how's it going? Hope y'all are having a fantastic day. Yeah, it's gonna be a solo day. Sounds like. Might hit chat is the hive mind. We might get a Jason a little bit later, but we shall see. I am just getting things a little sorted out here. I wanted to get some reference images for all right, let's get on through this. We're gonna have to paint these guys up, and by paint them up I mean prime them. Black primer there, dark neutral gray there, and we got white. These guys are gonna be white. Probably just use transparent white. See how that looks. Route, what's going on? Count Quackton Quackalon. Hey, there we go. Evening. Just finished putting your Shatterpoint together last night. That's awesome. Super excited to get started when your new brushes finally arrive. Did you order new brushes from us, Route? Ah, there you go. Thank you for the sub. 2 months already, man. Time flies when you're having fun. Thank you for the sub. Paints to paint rocks from your kayak adventures? That's awesome, Tim. Heck yeah. Well, it sounds like we're settling in for a nice bout of painting this evening. I'm excited. I don't know about you guys. We are going to paint Obi-Wan and some clones. I think it's going to be fun. I got to glue him back on his base because I dropped him. Didn't break the lightsaber, though. Just dope. That I was definitely expecting to have happen. But it didn't, which is great. I do, however, need to find the super glue that is right here in front of my face. We got it. Just a little bit of super glue on his tippy toes. Is this closed again? It most certainly is. Okay. Gotta find a good way to open this. What do we got? What do we got, chat? What options do we have available to us? Fine establishment. Okay. Let's see here. Gladiator, what's going on? Dragonfire, Songer, what's up? Welcome to the stream today. I am trying to unclog this glue bottle really quick so I can glue Obi-Wan back down. And it's proving to be a little bit difficult. Oh, there we go. Got a little bit of a divot made. We'll get in in here with the... Aha! Success! We have made a hole for the super glue to pass through the tip of the super glue bottle. Okay, that's still not working. What the heck? What on earth happened to this glue bottle? We might not be able to paint this guy today, chat. We might have to just do some clones. Alright, well. I'm not going to spend forever working on that. Time to paint some... You have glue? Fantastic, thank you.
I have glue!
We have Gabe to the rescue.
But I need it back because it's my glue.
No.
So I'll need it.
You can't have it back.
No!
Fresh bottle of Gabe glue.
I'll leave that. Wait, no.
It's Gabe glue.
No.
That's what it is, though.
No.
It's Gabe glue. It's the glue that holds Gabe together. That's exactly what it is. Look, I'm just calling it like it is. All right? Perfect. Perfection, chat. Gabe may be struggling with this. He only refuses anything but the high ground. That's why the glue wasn't working. That's true. Gabe, you can come steal your Gabe glue back. We got a wad tomato? What's up? Oh, I didn't actually turn it on. Back. Alright, you're locked in here forever. You can't leave.
I'm locked.
Yep.
Did you actually lock it from the outside? Because these lock from the outside, right?
The door doesn't actually close.
Oh, it doesn't? It's like...
Yeah. Yeah. Alright. Airbrush time, chat. Yeah. We should probably move these out of the way. Those are fine. Alright, and we are going to get started here. Well, I'm gonna put a glove on so I don't get primer all over my hands. Because I don't know about you guys, but the worst thing you could possibly try and scrub off of your hand is primer. Never works. Where to what? Creepy. Baby J, where to what? The so high. What? Sons of Horus. I mean, we could. I have it here. You guys want to see some Sons of Horus? I'll leave it up to chat. Because it's just chat and me today. So I'm going to let chat decide. Nah, no one other than me does. Hey, I saw your Sons of Horus that you posted earlier today, Creepy. It looks really good. I was literally looking at it right before I came on the stream. Looks really, really good. Must spoil you guys rotten while Jason's gone. I'll let you make all kinds of decisions. Well, not all kinds, just a couple. Just a couple of those kinds of decisions. Yeah, painting more Shatterpoint and disgusting. Disgusting? I didn't disgust the boss into leaving. Hey, look. Part of the reason I'm here is so that when the man's got to go do some stuff, the man can go do some stuff. And I can still entertain you folk. You fine, fancy folks. I can be entertained by me making stupid comments on the internet. Which sounds like so much fun. I'm not gonna lie, I really love these clone models. They are so cool. Oh, need a little bit more primer. Wad Tomato, Creepy, Quicksilver, Bakamaru, the Human Dave, what's up? It's okay. Coming in paint? Well, maybe not. You always want to come in peace. We always want to be peaceful here, chat. You come in peace and bring your paint with you. There you go. That's the plan. Getting these bases on. I'm currently working on my Monument Hobbies Assault Aggressor paint scheme. Is that that's a Space Marine, like, Primaris unit, right? Aggressors? Blood Angels? Well, we can definitely help you out with that. What do you have so far in mind? Alright, got them all primed. So far primed with Mephiston layered with Pyro Red, and you did orange edge highlighting. Mahogany mixed with Pyro Wash. Okay. So I would definitely, like, bring it back up with Pyro Red and maybe a little bit of the, like, mix orange into your Pyro Red. Kind of like what Jason is doing over there. Do you have transparent red? Does he know Jason is not over there right now? Jason, I mean, maybe? I don't know. Jason's not over here. Just me right now. What about for the armor effect, like the shiny parts? Are you talking about, like, all the metallic bits? Like the guns and the gold and the trim, that sort of stuff? Or are you talking about doing like shiny reflection on the red? Oh, yeah, you can do that. You want to build up like a really bright reflection with very subtle gradients of color up until your bright color. And then you can put a dot of white in the center to show the reflection. It can be a little difficult to pull off, but it can definitely be done. But you want to go up to like adding a little bit of like warm flesh or some tan flesh into the. Yeah, after the wash, I'd build it back up with the power red because you're gonna kill a lot of the. So I would do power red first, and then Pyrrole mixed with red orange, and then I would probably go. I would probably go warm flesh orange and pyro red, like what we were doing with the pink before. With our forget what the name of the fancy pink is. Chat can help me out with that. Or you can just go orange and then you go orange and warm flesh would probably work too. A little bit more layers. But you definitely want it to be, because you're kind of looking for something like this, right? Something that's got that like shine in the middle, right? Little tester that we're doing. I mean, I can just show you how to paint the red real quick. I'll let these guys dry for a little bit, and we'll just do. I have Pyro right here, and I can just paint the red on Pyro. That sounds like fun. You want to do that? Let me know what you want to do, Dave. Do it? All right. People have spoken. And by people, I mean person. We'll take it. All right. So, this is a little bit further along than I remember it being, but we can go over it again real quick with base coat. Let's grab our Pyro Red. One person has spoken. Hey, you know what? I'll take it. If one person wants to see it, I'll do it. Now it's 1-to-1. Oh, you say don't do it? Well, it's too bad, Punisher. You didn't speak up in time. So, Dave, this is not going to be the exact shape that you're going to be experiencing with Blood Angels. I mean, I could just do it here. Got Space Marine right here. I'll just paint it up on this guy. So, I'll just do it on his head and his shoulder pad. But I'm just going to base coat on some of this. Actually, we won't. I'll start with the dark. No, this will work. We're not going super fancy with it. But you can start with a darker color. I'm just going with this because you've already built up some layers, Dave. And I want it to be a little bit more similar to what you've got going on right now. So we're just going to get a couple of layers of this red on. Get a nice solid red. And then, if I recall, you said you went in with mahogany and pyro red mixed for the wash. Did you use glaze medium or did you just thin it with water? You just thin it with water? Okay, cool. You did orange edge highlights before the wash? Okay. Do you have warm flesh, Human Dave? I'd prefer to use colors that you've got if you're in the middle of the project. If you want to pick up warm flesh, that works too. But if you only have like the base set or something, we could do something with just the base set. Because it sounds like you've got the base set. All right. We're going to get this to dry. We're going to use the airbrush a little bit. Just using air out of the airbrush by itself to get this to dry a little faster. Nice thin coat of red again. Old pyro red. Get our nice solid coat on. Roll 1 to explode. Thank you for the sub. Welcome back for your second month. Now we're just building this up. Got a nice solid coat there. Just a little bit down here. Alright, we're gonna grab the airbrush again.
Well, huzzah, huzzah! I'll just throw back my legs and pollute my britches with delight.
So, we've got bold power red on there. Then we're going to do our edge highlights in orange. Go Sue, what's up, man? we got all the folks in here today. You guys all done with work and just chilling for the night? Alright, so you got your edge highlights on here in orange. Got edge highlight underneath the helmet there. Headed to bed soon. It's 10:30. My gosh. And you have to be up for work at 4? Roll 1, what are you doing? You should be in bed. Time to sleep. All right, we're gonna mix up this mix with the mahogany. I'm working, and by that I mean avoiding work. All right, paint liquor, I can respect that to some extent. You have a complicated. Yeah, that's fair. To some, it is complicated. That is for sure. Ha! Creepy, that's hilarious. Alright. That's still really thick. Let's go a little thinner on this wash. That's looking better. Alright. Alright, Dave. We got your wash on. Okay. So, here's what I would do. Come back with some of your bold power red. I don't have a hairdryer in here, roll one. So I'm making do with what I've got. So we're going to reclaim some of that red with our bold power red. Focusing on using our paintbrush to push the paint to where we want the highlights. So if you can see how I'm pushing from the shadow up to the highlight. What else will do is this will keep more transparent paint towards where you started the brush stroke, and it'll leave heavier coverage on where you stopped the brush stroke. So we're going to follow that same here. Do a nice highlight back to the helmet. Keeping that consistent stroke with the paintbrush. With that. At the top of the little earmuffs on this guy here. Hit him on this side. Oop. All right. Well, remember, Dave, this is one step past where you are right now. This is just the one reclaimed level of bold power red. What we're gonna do, we're gonna take some orange and some bold power red. This is like 2-to-1 orange to bold power red. We're gonna thin it down just a touch. So it'll flow nice. And we're gonna do the same thing where we start and bring the brush towards the highlight. And we're gonna put the highlights on here. And this is gonna look kind of weird, so don't worry about it for now. And we're gonna do the highlight here. Boom, boom, on the earmuffs. Can't forget the earmuffs, guys. Then we're doing the peak of the shoulder pad with the orange-red mix. And on this highlight, we're working it in. And then we're going to take, yeah, sure, we can use tan flesh. Suppose it's as good as any. We're going to mix this with orange. And then a touch of red. And we're going to get something along the lines of this color. Yeah, Dave, remember, this is just a general idea. This is not going to be exactly how your application is going to be on your model. This is just an example of how to apply the colors. So we're going to do a nice thin highlight here on the hat and the bridge of the nose. And just touch dots on the earmuffs. And you can do your edge highlights with this color as well. Put that on there. We're going to do our edge highlights here. Helmet. We're going to build up another little bit of a layer on top of that. We're going to have a really bright helmet. We're going to add a thin layer of tan flesh with just a touch of orange in it for our little peak highlights here. This is kind of our like reflections, right? See how shiny that gets. And we're just going to put this in here as well. And you notice how each stage we're leaving less and less. We're not covering the entirety of the space, right? So you can see our bold power red here, our red-orange mix here, our kind of warm flesh red and orange mix here. Or not warm flesh, but tan flesh. And then this is our basically just tan flesh on the top. Alright, so we're going to let this dry. Our handy dandy airbrush. And then what we're going to do, it's going to be kind of crazy, is we're going to take our red, and we're going to thin it down a bunch. And I mean a bunch. I'm using a wet palette, Slayer. Testing the tinting strength here. So it's very thin, right? You can see that it's still showing over that color, but we want it to be thinned down even more. You might want something closer to like this. Yeah, much better. So this is just with water. I would normally use glaze and wash medium for this. But we're basically going to glaze over the whole surface of this shoulder pad and the helmet. And you want to make sure that you go in one pass. You don't want to leave a lot of cooling paint. When you're doing glazes like this, it's really, really, really quick passes, and they should dry very quickly. Yeah, I put a little too much paint on there, so see how you can still see that sheen. So I'm going to use the airbrush to help here a little bit, just to help it dry. Hair dryer would be more effective for this, but I don't have one here. And we're going to keep going, and we're going to keep on applying this in thin layers. And you'll notice that it gets softer and softer and softer every time we do these layers. And this is a great way to get a really nice smooth red. Without having to worry too much about knowing how to blend colors on your model. So this is just basically layering up color on top of each other, and then using glazes, in this case from your red, to go over it to blend your colors together. And this can be used for any color, by the way. You don't have to use this specifically with red. This will work with blue, it'll work with green, it'll work with browns, anything like that. And you'll see I'm starting to focus on this line right here. You see how you can still see this drastic line? Because we didn't mix a better intermediary color between that original orange and this like orangey skin tone. So that means that I'm gonna have to do a couple more layers on that to get that to blend down. But that's okay. You can really see it on this side, how smooth that's gotten. So the smoother and the thinner that you apply your layers, the better that this is going to work. What's up, Rex, for the win? This is not a bad one. I don't have a bad one. I'd paint one if I had one. You guys, cool. All right. And we're just building this up. So remember, if you do thinner, more smooth layers, or you do less of these really jarring transitions, this step will go a lot faster. Primer is super matte. Is that Pro Acryl primer? It is. Primed these earlier today, in fact. Pro Acryl primer. Same thing with these. We just primed these on stream maybe 20 minutes ago. Maybe more than that. Is Pro Acryl good for wet blending? Absolutely it is. Here, I can even show you some wet blending if you want. Human Dave, does this make sense though? This process? Does anybody have any questions? Even outside of Human Dave? I'd be happy to answer questions. It does? Awesome. So, Rex for the win? Yes. In general, wet blending is going to be faster than this. The problem with wet blending for a lot of people is that it's really difficult to do in a smaller area. So using glazes over layered colors is a lot easier for people to start with, because it's a really straightforward concept, right? You're just doing base coat, layer, highlight, and then you're bringing everything together by using these glazes of color to bring the color back to your mid-tone. And then if you really want to get super duper fancy with it, by the way, you can go back in with some tan flesh, and you can hit these center points. With a little dot of reflection. This one we brought down a little too much, so we might have gone with a higher highlight to start with. But the same idea, right? All right. Back to our Shatterpoint. Not do a good job priming this guy. That's fine. Good enough for right now. Yep. So we are going to go with a gray. Want to do neutral. Let's do neutral gray here for the stormtroopers. We'll do warm gray. We'll do warm gray. They're in a warm environment. I'm going to want some warm gray on these guys. So we're going to use warm gray. Guys, we don't want to eat the paint. Clone troopers, thank you, creepy. It was an honest mistake. It was an honest mistake. I'm not eating the paint. Nor should anybody else. Don't eat the paint. It's not good for you. We're getting basically almost complete coverage on this guy. Because these guys are going to be white, we want to have mostly complete coverage. Look, alright, hold on. I'm not going to lick the paint, guys. That's not good for you. You shouldn't do it. I don't want to incentivize anybody to do it. We're not allowed to do that here. Like, it's not gonna kill you, but also don't do it. Channel inner Palpatine voice. You guys are having too much fun. I see what Jason's talking about now with you guys and fun. You guys have too much of it. You don't need any more of it. That's looking pretty nice. We got one last guy right here. Here he is. You guys are speaking a million miles a minute. I can't keep up with chat. Yeah, this gray is fantastic. It has been used a lot. It's basically the base coat for all of my bases as well. Now I'm keeping, you can see this like really dark, deep shadow underneath this like protrusion here. That's the kind of stuff I want to keep. Like this dark shadow underneath his head, I want to keep that. But everything else, white. And then we are going to take some transparent white and we're going to mix this in. This is warm gray, Tom. Oh my gosh. Look at this. Jason takes one day off and you guys go crazy. What's happening? Jen, what's happening to these people in chat? What do I do? They're talking about eating all the paint. How many doll hairs to lick the paint? None. Yeah, Jen's here. You guys can't talk about eating paint while Jen's here. That sounds pretty normal for chat, if I'm being honest. Man, you guys are getting dissed. Alright, this wasn't quite bright enough, so we're gonna go back to the drawing board on that. I think there was just too much warm gray still in there. They're an odd bunch. That's why we love them. Yep, that's true. I wouldn't be here if you guys weren't as fun as you are. But sometimes you guys concern me. Today is one of those times. Alright, so what we're going to do instead, we're going to take some titanium white. With some transparent white. And just a touch of bright warm gray. And then a bit of water. All right. All right. That looks good. You use scotch instead of paint water? Rex, what the heck? Yeah, this is exactly what I was looking for. Nice smooth layers. Got a little bit of that warmth from the bright warm gray. Right. This little gummy thing comes with the airbrush. It is comfortable. Yeah, all of our airbrushes come with the well, the trigger ones come with this on it. Is it edible? Um, um, nope. All right. So now that that's done, we're gonna do a little bit of a wash on these guys. Yo, how awesome is this sculpt, by the way? Cody looking pretty badass over here. Excuse me, bad butts. I'm gonna hit the edge of the base with this as well. Looking a bit too Star Warsy. Well, so much for wearing gloves. That. Yeah, PP, you're probably right. But without express permission. I just don't know. Alright, I gotta clean the airbrush out because we're done with that part of the day. Monument gummies. Look, I'm just saying, I feel like you guys would buy anything with an M on it. We just stuck a big M on like a postcard and charged $5 for it. You guys would buy it. What the heck? But don't give us too many ideas, because you never know. Whoa, 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 whoa. Yeah, that's why I buy M&Ms. To be fair, I'll take it. If you buy M&Ms because of us, maybe you're looking at the wrong marketing. Who knows? All right. This is looking like a pretty. Oh, was looking like a clean airbrush. There we go. All right, it's done. I'm gonna turn the airbrush off. Oop. Yeah, we're done with that. But not done with the day. You guys are still stuck with me. Alright. Mixing cups. And we're gonna need. I'm gonna make my own wash. We're gonna do transparent black. With a bunch of glaze and wash medium. A bunch of water. So the goal is I really don't want much staining on the surface of these guys' armor. I'm actually going to use this guy as a tester to see how much staining we get. We get some. So we get good retention in the recesses, which is good. Ah. There you go. Just for you, Arctic Mini Painting Studio. We're trying on the bases too. Looking pretty good. A little too much staining for what I'm looking for. So we're going to thin it down a little bit more. Actually, that might be okay. Now that I think about it. Because we're just going to go back over it anyways. I might add a touch of brown to this. Just a touch. Get some of these earthy, warm colors in here. Water. I do have Jason's Horus in reach-ish. Over there. I'm not going to touch it, though. Jason would be mad. Especially since I would probably be doing untoward things in favor of chat. Like, you know, giving it away, selling it, God forbid. Alright, so when we're applying this wash, we have to do it real fast. Real neat. We don't want any pooling. Now, this is the nice thing too, is that these Clone Wars, or these Clone Troopers, really shouldn't have pristine white armor, right? Because they're running around on a battlefield, getting all messed up, and while I'm sure they spend some time cleaning their armor, I doubt they get as much time as they would need to really get it all spotlessly clean. So, getting a little bit of this dinginess on the armor is a good thing. And we're going to use it to our favor when we reapply our highlights back up to white. But see how much detail we get in the recesses because of this? That is the goal with this step. Jatter, Deathwalker, Baby J. The highlight on the red mix was bold red and orange. And then it was bold, pyro red, orange, and tan flesh. And then tan flesh with a little bit of orange. Alright, so we're going to let this dry for a bit. Or do this next guy. You guys are insufferable. Oh my gosh. One day. Alright. Well, I'm cracking down on the whip. We ain't stealing anything, chat. That ain't happening. It's not that kind of stream. I just figured this out. You know what? I thought that, sometimes we could make it better with just the two of us stream. With just two of us chat. And you know what? Apparently I was wrong. I was sorely wrong. And now I am sad. Protect? This is being protected just fine. You guys don't even know where it is. It's nicely hidden away in a place where chat won't find it. Let's see if we can't get all three of these models done. So Jason comes back tomorrow and is like, what the heck, how'd you get 3 models done? Because he's going to say it. He's going to be like, what the heck? I left you for one stream, and you turn around and you painted 3 models. What the heck? And we basically want to avoid water spots. Don't want it to start drying and get these weird watermarks before get all the stuff washed up. Want to have washed. Avoid pooling like this. Go back in. Spots where it either needs a little bit of shadow. Detail. There. Good. All right. I like it. We're going to keep this up. We're going to let these guys dry. We're going to work on him. So, Obi-Wan's got like a really cool tan cloak. He's got white armor. So, same white armor that these guys have got. What we're going to do is we're going to go with Dark Umber as a base coat for this cloak. Because it's not super warm like a lot of the other stuff that we've been painting is. It's going to be a little bit more towards the neutral browns, but it's still going to have some of that kind of khaki warmth to it. Kind of cool. Looks like he might have the same Under Armour that the clones have got on, which is kind of neat. Something I never noticed about the design for this character before, which is really cool, actually. Where is a good reference image? Shatterpoint. Hey, yeah. Jatter, or Deathwalker, I guess is way easier to say. Yes. I do a little bit. I've lived there for a long time. Rain was a very regular part of my life. And overcast weather with some cloudy rain is something that I do miss. Now, I'm going to get rain eventually. But, you know, eventually. His belt as well in this color. Where are you at, Arctic Mini Painting Studio? Yeah, I know. Hey, we get monsoon season, alright? We do get rain. It just, like, dumps on us instead of, you know, being a gentle drizzle all the time. Ah, Alaska. Yeah, I can see how it would rain up there. See how it could snow up there, too. Sounds awful. Although I guess you guys are all probably very, very much used to having snow. Depending on where you live in Alaska, I imagine. It's one of those things where, like, You live in Seattle. Seattle doesn't have great infrastructure for dealing with snow when it arrives. I mean, it has okay infrastructure. The problem is, Seattle is just a bunch of hills. And it turns out, snow on a bunch of hills is really dangerous, which is not what you want to be running around in. So while, in my opinion, a lot of people are scared of snow and don't really know how to drive in it, it's not because necessarily they don't know how to drive in snow. It's because it's like way more dangerous than a lot of other places. Now, there are parts of Washington where you can drive in snow no problem. It is definitely both. Like in Arizona, snow wouldn't be a problem. If it just like randomly snowed here, like we don't have snowplows, I'm sure. But that being said, everything's flat. So it's easy to drive around. Easy. But I bet nobody knows how to drive here, so that would be really scary. Everyone would be like, what the heck is happening? This is terrifying. These did not dry how I would have hoped. That's okay. Scottsdale has one. They crashed it when it snowed back like 3 or 4 years ago. That's funny. Yeah. That's funny. I can imagine it just being a nightmare. We're gonna go back with the warm grays for this. We need a little bit of black as well, so let's grab the coal black. Yeah, I'm not super looking forward to that, Songer. Not like super excited to be dealing with like flooding everywhere. Luckily, my apartment's on the 3rd floor, so I don't necessarily have to deal with like flooding impacting. Yeah, just stay home. That's a good call. Making cheese ramen. That's interesting. I made mac and cheese yesterday for dinner. It was delightful. I'm gonna have leftovers tonight, which will also be delightful, I'm sure. Just bringing these highlights up a little bit on this armor that's going to end up being white. little bit more black to this mix. Oh, hey, you guys can actually see my palette today. I didn't even realize that. Flash floods. It's the outskirts, or... Yeah, Baby J, don't flood in Phoenix. It's the outskirts and the freeways that flood. Okay, that's good to know. But if you're lying to me, I know who to find. Getting the highlights on the shirt that we're not really going to see a whole lot of. There's going to be some pretty dark gray highlights. Literally just like an undershirt. So we're going to get highlights like that. We're going to get it in there. Like that. And we're going to be doing that. That's pretty much it, I think, for that. Might go with a little bit of a highlight here, just to bring it up a touch. Yeah, that looks nice. Nice little highlight in there. Makes it easier to see. Rarely floods in the city. It's usually because we get dumped on and it goes back to normal when it stops dumping. Okay. Yeah, I haven't really experienced any heavy rains in Phoenix yet. I'm sure it will happen this year because, you know, I hear that that's a thing. I'm gonna paint his glove on both hands. All right. Now, time for the armor. Love those rainy days. You know, I love rain, so if it's not horrible, I'll probably really enjoy it. And if it rains as hard as you guys are talking about it, it means we'll definitely be able to hear it, which is even better. Like, I love the sound of rain, like, hitting the roof. That's like one of my favorite things about rainy seasons. I like to just curl up with a book, like a hot chocolate, and just chill and enjoy the rain with a nice book. Right, warm gray. Rainy days are the best days in Phoenix. There's literally nothing better than the smell of rain coming in. You get the dirt. And there's a certain tree that excretes the smell when it rains. There's nowhere else. Interesting. Well, we'll find out. Washes blood all the time, every time it rains. Oh, well, look at that. Jen's calling it out. Apparently it does in fact rain here in the city. Or flood here in the city. I got that to look forward to. But I am excited about the rain. It'll be fun. I mean, maybe not fun, but it'll be nice. Yeah, getting used to a new place is weird. There's all these like weird nuances to living in a different city that you never really think about until you have to like deal with them. Like the fact that my AC is going to be more expensive during the summer than it will be during the winter. Or my electricity, rather. By like a significant margin. Not something I ever would have thought of in Washington. Because I come from like a family that doesn't put the heat on during the winter. So it's cold. Very cold. But getting that cold, I don't really have to worry about here because it doesn't really get that cold. It's the mesquite bushes that give all that smell? Interesting. No, games play poorly. That's not very nice. I don't like bugs. Baby J, give a splash of hot sauce and deli mustard to that mac and cheese. Nah, I'm good. It's like, it's ranch based mac and cheese, so that would just be really weird. Not the right kind of flavors. Shake your tap. There's literally a slogan for it. Turn around, don't drown. Because hot coffee is hot. And roads are wet when it rains. That's funny, Jen. Yeah, don't forget, I live like right in the middle of the city. You know if Chino Bandito meal ever happened? Yeah, Jason's off missing in the desert somewhere. Yeah, he like ran out there to get some Cheeto Bandito or something. Who knows? He disappeared on a long, long adventure. Jen would have to tell us if Chino Bandito ever happened. It didn't happen while I was here. Did not happen. Okay. That sounds like a conversation for tomorrow's stream when we have Jason. Because I don't know about you guys, but I'm pretty sure Jen and I both want Chino Bandito pretty bad. That's at least the impression I got from Jen. Apparently they moved? Is that right, Jen? I think they were saying that it moved last time from to a different place. It moved, but not far. Yeah. Old Chino Bandito. I am excited to go at some point in the future when it happens. I don't know when that day will be. Hopefully it will be soon. All the Phoenix residents coming out of the woodwork. Just putting on the last little bits of armor on this guy. We can move on. Tend to stay away from civilization. I wonder why. Paint liquor. I bet those scorpions are not fond of us humans going, ooh, hey, there's a bug. Squish. They're like, how about we stay away from those crazy tall people who squish us? The singer ain't gonna help me too much if I've been squished to death. What's my plan for the armor, Sapo? Probably do a little bit of shading and then some highlighting up to white. Gonna basically go with highlights for bright, warm gray, and then white from there. Just like this. Let's see here. Monument Hobbies meetup at Cheeto Bandito. That'd be fun. Had a place in the California hills for a year. Had to kill 3 baby rattlesnakes in a season. That is a bummer. Well, Roadrunner lines though. Went out to the res 2 weekends ago. Saw some coyotes and snakes. Had to pop a couple of snakes so the kids wouldn't get bit. Middle of nowhere, yeah. Songer, that's gross. I politely find a cup, scoot the little scorpion in, and move it to the outdoors. When I was doing training with the Marines out in SoCal, we would have a guy at the front of the formation with a 9mm and a machete to dispatch snakes. What the heck? What a way to get rid of snakes. I have never had to deal with snakes before. I've never lived in a place where we've had a lot of them. And all through my time in Boy Scouts, never had to deal with them either, which is kind of surprising actually, considering how much hiking and camping and stuff that I've done. I might have just forgotten too. It's possible that there was like one or two way back in the day that I just don't think about. Armor started. Last little bit of that armor covered up. We're going to set this guy down for a second. We're going to go back to the other guys because we need to throw another wash on them because that wash did not do what I wanted it to do. So what happened was we watered down the paint too much, which causes it to dry all funky. So we don't really have a lot of detail in the recesses anymore. It all evaporated out of there. So there's some spots, but what we're gonna do, we're gonna take a black wash. We're gonna use a black wash. Just a touch of water this time. Not a ton. A little bit of glaze and wash medium. And we're gonna do this. No, it needed less thinning out. It was too thin. So what happened was the paint in the recesses evaporated because it didn't have enough pigment to stay there. So it got over thinned down. So what I should have done is just use the wash in the first place. Although I don't actually hate how this kind of staining is looking. It just means it's going to be a little bit more work on the end of me actually doing the white, which is fine. But not the end of the world. This guy too. Get all the recesses. Him. So definitely next time when I do this, I'm just going to use the black wash plus a little bit of glaze and wash medium instead, and I think it will work a lot better. Because it doesn't seem to stain very much, which is good. Yeah, doing these washes over white is always kind of tricky. Definitely darkens up the armor a bit, but that's cool because this is basically just going to be our shadow layer. And then we're going to build up our highlights over the top of it. We're going to paint the orange on, obviously. These guys are from the 202nd, 220. Which Legion of Stormtroopers was Obi-Wan general of? I know the color, I just never remember the name. 501st was Anakin. 212th, that's what it is. Thank you, Songer. Throwing this wash over. Plenty in there for all three of these models and all the bases. Because I'm going to hit the bases again as well. A little bit of like extra wash up in there. All right, looks good. So we gotta do all the bases, all the other. Strawy, what color are these gonna be? These are gonna be white. I'm in the stage of like dirtying up the layers and building up their like dark recesses, and then I'm gonna do all the details on them in their respective colors for the 212th, and then we're gonna make them look all nice. This is usually my process when I do like a bunch of white armored guys that might look like this. A lot easier to do this kind of like washing method than it is to do the grays up from the tippy tops. This is kind of where we're at right now. And then basically what will happen is I'll use some glaze and wash medium with some some bright warm gray. And then we're going to basically build up the brightness again on each panel like this. So we're going to let them dry, and then we're going to do that. And then after that, we're going to use transparent white. All right. There's all that. We'll get back to doing we're going to do the robes on Obi-Wan. So we're going to take some golden brown. And we're going to mix it with the dark umber. Highlight this up, leaving a lot of that detail in the darkness in the recesses. And blending this up, got a little bit of that wash that came down. So we're just going to kind of wet blend, wash, and color we're applying. Go back and do a layer, but that's cool. Alrighty, back again. Fun finally getting around to painting some of the good guys in this game. Not that the bad guys aren't awesome, but it's an interesting change of pace from the standard Dooku and droids. Able to paint up some armored clone troopers and stuff. Kind of fun. So this is, again, dark umber and some golden yellow. Here like that. From your point of view, Jedi are evil. Palpatine's a liar. God, I haven't seen that movie in so long. I should go home and watch that after we're done here. That would be funny. I'd have to walk home though. Oh man, I forgot about that. I walked to work today, chat. We're trying out new things like, you know, walking places and things. I don't know if Jen's still here, but I finally did it. Finally walked to work. We've been talking about it for months. Finally did it today. You walk 2 miles every day, change your life, no lie. Yeah, I probably should. I mean, I'm sitting at I'm sitting. I have a standing desk here. So that helps a lot, but definitely getting some walking in. And I mean, I'm complaining. It takes me 4 minutes to walk home. Now, it is like 102 degrees outside. So I feel like that's a valid complaint. Can I get away with that one, chat? It's 102 degrees outside. Walking home sucks. Can we get away with that one, or do we have to go to another? Do we have to go back to the drawing board? I'll give you guys a leeway on this one. Nope. That's a good temp for Arizona during this time here. Well, Songer, it is in fact going to be 115 degrees next week. Or this week. Sometime soon. That can't be great. This is just straight golden yellow, by the way. But it's a dry heat. Yeah. 115 is still 115, Tim. Folks coming along. Side. Tim, how's your painting going down over there? Is anybody else painting anything fun? I know Tim is working on some stuff with. I think you said you were working on it with your wife. Painting some rocks, something like that. From earlier. Slinging some dry pigments on the June challenge. Heck yeah. I'm excited to see your finished product, Gosu. We're about a week and change away from that now, I think. Yeah, we can change. Ooh, you just finished up printing a Custodes army over the past few weeks. Need to finish priming them. Nice. Shatterpoint 2, moving back to MCP tonight. Also going to build a Ragnar Black main. Interesting. That's cool. Sounds like we got some great projects out there in the crowd. Mini ADD? What's ADD? Cat-shaped urn to match my daughter's Siamese mixed cat. That's cool. For all of you cat lovers out there who have not already seen my amazingly fantastic water bottle that has cats on it. My cat camo water bottle. It's my favorite thing in the world. Got cat camo on it. Definitely the best. Oh, you have ADD. Okay, got it. Picked up the Monument base set and some expansions. Looking forward to trying them out finally. Heck yeah. That's the point, Mo. That's the point. You're not supposed to be able to see the cats. Why they call it cat camo. Camouflage cats. Can't see the kitty cats on the water bottle. But they are there, Mo. They are there. Gosu cat see it. You can do better than that one, Gosu. I know you can. I have faith in your ability to do better. I don't know. I'm gonna lie. That was pretty good. Okay, dinner's done. I'll catch you guys in the Discord. All right, Tim. We will see you later on the Discord. I hope you guys have a wonderful dinner. I need... Heck, you'll probably do fine. That's a little too green. Actually, you know what? Warm flush would be a good color for this. Trying to bring up these highlights on his jacket here, or his tunic. Paint Liquor, you gotta meet your dad at a storage unit. Have a good one. Alright, we'll see you later. Oh, what's up, T. Schmidt? How's it going? Welcome to the chat today. We've been having some fun talking about cat camo. And other things like in paint and stuff. Talked a little bit about that. Now you shouldn't do it, right, chat? We talked about that. We had a big old conversation about, you know, not eating your paint. How that's so good for you. Yeah, we talked about that one. I think we resolved that conversation. Ended in a victory for the don't eat paint. Just adding more highlights here to kind of smooth things out. One of the things that I don't really like about how like splotchy this looks on the back. So what I'm trying to do is find some intermediary highlights and shadows and midtones here to kind of pull everything together so that it feels a little bit more natural. It's not quite as splotchy. So if you notice on the chest, we've kind of done that where we've started to smooth out some of these blends. And then what'll end up happening is we'll go back in with some of our darker colors and we'll thin them out and we'll end up glazing those back in. So some of this like dark umber plus a little bit of glaze and wash medium gets us somewhere like that, right? Get a much softer highlight through those blends, or softer shadow, I should say. So we just do stuff like that. Okay. Get a much smoother look. How you really take your models to kind of the next level of being like, all right, I got all my layers and my highlights done. Where do I go from here? That's always kind of a tough part, right? So finding a good way to sort of take the next step of smoothing out the paint job, cleaning up, you know, messy blends, stuff like that, is a good way to make your models look even more awesome than they already are. Just blending it out like we did the other one, the other side. That looks way better already. And then you can push it even a little darker too. Getting a little bit darker paint mixed in there, maybe add a touch of black. Full black in there. These we're just going to use in areas like this. It's all deep shadows and folds and stuff like that. Under here. I'm liking where this is going. Getting to the right stage of contrast here. Might need to bring it up a touch. It's easy, we just go back in with our highlight color and we thin that down. We turn that into a glaze. And we glaze the other direction. And if the paint is still a little bit wet, you can do a little bit of wet blending too, which is always really nice. That'll even enhance your smooth blends even more. There we go. Nice and smooth. We're bringing it over here to an area where light would be hitting on the leg. So we're going to push some of this highlight down in here. We're going to hook it where this fold is being exposed to light down here. Same thing down here. Although this is more of like an edge highlight even. I'm curious to see if we get any hanger outers today. Be fun. Get like a Jacob or something. Do we have any 40K 10th edition aficionados awake in chat right now whom I can ask questions of? Because I'm definitely trying to figure out what faction that I want to play and paint up and start working on for the start of 10th. I think it'd be fun. Just start with like one of the combat patrols. I think would be super fun to just like try the game out and play a little bit of. No, I mean, look, I know what the OP armies are. If I really wanted to be super OP, I would just play Eldar. Or whatever the heck they're called now. That's just, I mean, and part of me wants to do that because part of me has always wanted to do a like all bike army for Eldar. But I don't know if it's bad. I wouldn't mind if it was bad. I just want to make sure it's not like the OP thing to do. Combat Patrol rules are not for the actual Combat Patrol box? Can you explain that, T-Schmidt? That doesn't make sense to me. I really don't know much about what's hot or not with 10th. Just gonna paint up some models and maybe get a few games in. Hang on driving. Not combat patrols were getting into the game because all the boxes are evenly balanced. Yeah, Songer, that's what I thought too. And I thought the boxes were or the combat patrol rules that they just put out were specifically the rules for those combat patrols to be played once against one another. Because they just announced them today, I believe. Or they just showed off all the rules. You know, Mo, the funny thing is, I don't even really care if the faction's good or not. I like a lot of different things. And I'm trying to find something that I think I would enjoy playing from a, like, hey, these models don't suck complete poop, so these are pretty good models that you can use. Or like, hey, you should play guard, but the only way you can play guard right now, because they don't really work anywhere other way, is by, you know, doing only tanks, right? And I'm like, that's not super interesting to me, right? That's the kind of thing I'm trying to avoid. And I think guard are definitely up there for me as far as like wanting to work on projects. So that's probably the realm that I'm going to go. But I'm just doing my due diligence. Go all infantry? Ugh. I don't want to do all infantry. Hello? Hello? You came just in time. Because we're starting to talk about 10th edition. Are you here to just chill, or are you here to talk? All right, well, we'll get you on the mic. There's a mic over here that you can talk into, or not. Where is the mic? I have to turn it on for you, but it is around here somewhere. Hold on. Excuse me, chat. Hold, please. Hold, please. Talking Death Guard.
Pretty bad.
Huh? That has not been what I've heard. Volume up so people can hear you. Hello, chat. I'm back. Hiya. Hiya. Alright, we're turning him up. Alright, give us a test 1, 2, 3, sir.
Hello?
Test
Test
can
1,
you guys
2,
hear him?
3.
How's that volume? Can you guys hear him? Yep, you can hear him. Is the volume good? Or does it need to go up?
Testing 1, 2, 3.
Look at that. He done did it. Yep. All right. We'll call it good. If we need to adjust, we can adjust. All right. So, trying to land on a place where I want to be with 10th. I don't really care if the faction's good or not. None of the factions have codexes, so these rules are all going to change magically.
Yep.
I will say, I do like some of the mechanics of the new guard stuff. Being able to like resurrect a unit, I think, is really cool. And you can do it multiple times.
Is it a stratagem or is it? It's stratagem.
Yeah, it's a 1 CP stratagem that you can use, and it works on a already dead unit.
Yes.
So that seems pretty cool. So I'm thinking about doing that. I can get some stuff printed because they have really cool. There's like really cool printable Astro Militarum stuff.
I mean, most of it's just like military stuff too, isn't it?
Yeah, which I'm kind of in the mood to do stuff with. But I literally know nothing about the rest of the army. I know that indirect fire is good.
That's what I've been hearing.
Yeah, and they do a lot of that. Now, I don't necessarily just want to be like, the indirect fire king, because that sounds lame. Like not the fun way to play the game, but having some of it, and then having some like cool tanks and dudes to like run around and try and get objectives and stuff like that. Seems like fun, but I don't know the rules.
You know anything about how guard works?
No.
So, well, with 10th, a bunch of the armies are made a lot simpler. So, like, first is their army role, which is if you're extra military, if you're guard, officer models can issue orders. So this is like guard's big thing.
Okay.
Is that basically get to issue like buffs to units that last until your next command phase.
Okay.
Unless otherwise stated, they can only have one order at a time. I just pulled up the index.
Okay.
A notable thing is that if your unit becomes battle shocked, the order stops.
That sounds lame.
So there's 6 different orders. There's move, move, move. You get 3 inches of movement. One of them gives weapon skill characteristic of melee weapons. Improve it by 1. So you're +1 to hit. Then there's +1 to shoot. +1 attacks for rapid fire weapons specifically.
Okay, so you get an extra rapid fire basically.
Yeah. There's +1 to save, and +1 leadership.
Okay. That all seems pretty good and generically good.
Yeah. And then their detachment rule is each time a unit remains stationary until the end of the turn, ranged weapons have lethal hits.
So what are lethal hits?
Lethal hits are, I'm pretty sure that if you land a critical hit, it auto wounds.
Which is a 6?
Yeah, let me double check though.
So it's kind of like old school Rend. Yeah, you're right, Mo.
Yeah, it auto wounds on a crit, which is a 6, but a lot of armies have stuff to make it like a 5 or a 4 even.
Okay, cool. So there's like ways to get your crits to be on easier.
Yeah, that's why they specify like critical hits, because there's ways to modify what you need for a critical.
Got it. Yeah, they don't just say like on 6s. A 6. Yeah. Okay. Cool. That seems neat. Do they have any other like special fancy rules?
That's it for their army and detachment rules. So everything else is in like the data sheets.
Okay.
Yeah, you get 1 regiment unit for the reinforcement stratagem. It's 2 CP. Get a destroyed unit back with all of its wounds. You notably do not get characters back from this.
Okay.
So if you attach characters to the unit, you don't get them back, just the actual
Got it.
chumps.
But you do get them with their loadouts and stuff as well.
Yeah.
Which seems good.
And it's just dependent on how good the regiment units are. I don't think it's just guardsmen.
Definitely be curious to see what other regiment units there are.
There's so many data sheets.
Doesn't the new Rogel Dorn tank have like 1 billion guns? I think so.
Yeah, so a big thing is that because war gear is now free,
yeah,
tanks are basically always maxed out.
That's sick.
Why wouldn't you take every weapon?
Yeah. You're just like, oh hey, all my stuff is free? Sick. I just gotta have all the bells and whistles.
Yeah, the big reason indirect fire is good is because you don't have to move for indirect fire. You get your detachment ability to get the lethal hits on everything.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
So you just like get lethal hits on your indirect fires super easy.
Yeah, because you never have to move for it.
Yeah. With the rest of your guns, it's kind of hard. With your regular guys, because you're moving all the time.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. So, here's the other question. Do I just play Chaos Space Marines? That's like the other option.
Came out of nowhere.
Well, I mean, that's the other option. Like, of the armies that exist that I like, right?
Mm-hmm.
I love the idea of doing Astra Militarum. Just because, like, painting tanks and dudes sounds fun.
Just so normally orders are like they're meant to be for like just guardsmen.
Mm-hmm.
But there are a couple characters that let you issue orders to tanks.
Okay. Doesn't like the tank commander or something do that?
Yeah. So like not only your guardsmen but a bunch of stuff. Here's the thing. Yeah, it's not just guardsmen that are regiment. There's the sentinels are regiment, like the walkers.
Yeah.
Some of like the artillery is regiment.
I would want to use a lot of the walkers because I think the walkers are really cool.
Yeah, so you can get like a unit of those back for free.
Oh, you can get the walkers back for free?
Yeah, they're a regiment.
Oh, that is actually sick.
So, yeah, because you can put 1 to 3 sentinels. And let me check. Yeah, 1 regiment unit. That's all it says. So you can get like the walkers back.
Okay. That's actually sweet. Because those are some of my favorite models from the range.
Yeah.
So the idea of being able to like recur them sounds super cool. That's neat. Here their tanks are good and stuff.
Yeah, the sentinels give stuff that you pick a unit at the start of the shooting phase within 18.
Mm-hmm.
You can each time you get shot at, you can reroll hit rolls of 1, and if the attack is indirect fire, you don't get the penalty for indirect fire.
So you reroll to hit rolls of 1.
Yep.
And then you don't get a penalty for indirect fire.
Yeah, because indirect fire is normally
like minus to hit or something.
Yeah, subtract 1 from hit, and the target has cover automatically.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
So you negate that with if you target them with a sentinel.
Oh, that's sweet. So you can use them as like advanced targeting scouts.
I mean, they are scout sentinels.
Yeah. Well, they have the regular armored ones now too.
Yeah, these are just the first ones that popped up.
Yeah.
The armored ones are also regiment.
Okay.
Have like a anti-monster thing or vehicle thing. They get to reroll wound rolls.
That seems good. Especially since like monster stuff is all kind of like really kind of impossible to kill right now.
They have like 1,000,000 guns you can like kit out.
Okay. Thank you for the follow. Let me see if I can get this name right. Lynch. I butchered that. I'm sorry. I'll just say Die. Thank you, Die, for the follow.
You said your other thing was Chaos? CSM?
Yeah, CSM. I like good old school, like Word Bears or Black Legion would be fun.
You want like a specific, like, you want like a specific legion or just general CSM?
General CSM. But vanilla.
It kind of sucks that right now they don't really have rules for like some of the legions.
What do you mean?
Because you know, like they had like minor rules where it's like, oh, this is an Alpha Legion army, so like you have like stealth, or like this.
Interesting.
Is
so like Word Bears don't have specific army rules.
No, it's literally just the 3 like dedicated ones, like world leaders
that had their own
Death
book.
Guard, Suns.
Yeah.
And then everybody else, they have a deal where like you can't mix certain sub factions, but there are no special rules for only taking like stuff that would be in Night Lords or Word Bearers. They're kind of under supported at the moment. There's no Iron Warriors rules.
So basically, the way that I would want to play them, which is like super generic Black Legion, is good.
That's what they
because
have right
that's
now.
what they have right now.
Yes,
yeah.
That is what their rules are made for right now.
Yeah.
Because I think they just wanted to make a generic rule option for every army.
Yeah.
And then they add like the sub factions.
You know, I would be curious to see if Chaos Space Marines ends up being one of the earlier books to come out because of that.
Maybe.
Yeah, Gosu, no Iron Warriors rules. Oh, I'm sorry, buddy.
Yeah. Sucks.
Yeah, that is a big bummer. Because, like, it would be really cool to have, like, rules that gave you extra benefits for, you know, taking, like, the Dark Apostles and stuff like that. I think would be really fun. But they don't exist. None of it exists right now.
Yeah, they kind of work like how Slaves of Darkness work. Well, the army rule is Slaves to Darkness.
Yeah.
Where you just pick a mark and then that unit gets like the buff.
So I heard a birdie told me that one of the like dumb things that you can my gosh. One of the dumb things that you can do is you take Abaddon and you stick them in a pile of Terminators and all of the Terminators get all of the benefits of all the marks.
Read it. I have his thing pulled up.
And it becomes like a huge Death Star unit that's like virtually impossible to kill. Because I'm pretty sure Abaddon gets all of the benefits of the marks.
I have his sheet pulled up.
It's probably an effect that's given to them by Abaddon. Because they're probably a retinue for him, specifically. So it would probably be on his War Scroll. Or whatever they're called.
He can attach to Chaos Terminators and Legionary.
Mm-hmm.
So, that part's true.
Mo. Yay, Death Stars.
Oh.
Okay.
So, way the marks work is that when you select a unit,
yeah.
if it's not an epic hero or doesn't already have a keyword, you get to give it a mark.
Okay, can you read that one more time?
So if you pick a character that doesn't already have a mark built into the datasheet, you get to pick a mark.
Okay.
Right?
That's just a core rule.
Yes, that's their army thing. And it says whenever you do the Dark Pact thing, which is
Undivided?
so the Dark Pact turns on your mark.
Oh, okay.
So each time it shoots or hits, you can make a Dark Pact. You get a buff. And then, but you have to take a leadership test, and if you fail, you take mortals.
Okay.
So
that sucks.
Basically, when you make a Dark Pact, you turn on your buffs.
Okay.
Right? Abaddon has every mark built into his sheet.
Okay.
So I think the idea is that when you turn on his mark, when you make a Dark Pact, you get all of them.
Interesting.
Because he has every mark. He has all 4 gods and then divided.
Mm-hmm.
And because it buffs the unit, when you include a character in a unit, it's considered part of that unit.
Oh.
So since you're buffing him and he's part of a unit, that unit also receives all the buffs.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure that's how it's supposed to
be.
And
his leadership is probably like super high, so he's almost never going to fail.
His leadership is...
I would assume so.
9. Oh wait, no. 5? Really good.
5 is really good?
Yeah, because you have to beat your leadership.
Oh, okay. On 2d6?
Yes.
Okay, so if you roll like a 4 or less, you fail.
Yes.
I mean, that seems pretty cool.
Yeah, a 5 up is really good. Okay, because most armies are like 7s.
Yeah.
And then like some have like that are very are like 6s.
Mm-hmm. So having 5 is like really solid.
I mean 5. I mean he is the big boss of Chaos.
Yeah. He's supposed to have.
He should have the highest leader.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's how it works.
And he only has to make one check. And he gets all of them from what it sounds like?
Every time a unit is selected to shoot or fight. An important thing is that I think they did a rules thing recently where if you're selected to shoot or fight, it's only active in shooting and fight phase. I think I heard that. So like if you like Overwatch with them, I don't think you can do a Dark Pact. Might be wrong.
Okay.
I think that was like an errata they did like today or a couple days ago.
Oh, okay. Might have been them being like, we made these really strong.
Yeah. Yeah. They all say, so the Corn and the Zinch ones, because when you make a Dark Pact, you choose either lethal hits or sustained hits.
Yeah.
So either auto wounds or exploding critical.
Yep.
The Corn and the Zinch one trigger if you chose lethal.
Mm-hmm.
The Nurgle and Sinesh chose if you chose exploding.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Chaos Undefied just says you reroll hit rolls of 1.
Okay.
So if you do the mark, you're only going to be able to get 2 or 3 of the 5.
Mm-hmm.
You can't do like all 5 at once.
Okay.
Because
the game doesn't let you.
They all do different things.
Yeah.
Because Corn is fight phase lethal if you chose lethal hits. Zinch is shooting if you chose lethal hits. Nurgle is shooting if you chose exploding, and then Slanesh is fight if you chose exploding. So,
but it sounds like you get opportunities to do these multiple times.
Yes.
So you could be like, when I need this specific buff, I do this.
Yeah.
And then when I need this specific buff, I do the other one.
Yeah. The big thing is that you can't choose. You can't get like all 5 of them for one big attack, because they only buff a specific instance. That makes sense?
Sort of.
So what I can see from it is that you're getting the ability to choose any of them.
Mm-hmm.
But just because of when they trigger, you can't have them all active at the same time.
Interesting.
Like 2 of them are only in shooting and 2 of them are only in fighting, so you can't have both of those, all 4 of those at the same time.
Yeah.
I think that if you are able to choose them twice, to like a second one.
Mm-hmm.
But just because it looks like just because of the timing of the abilities, you can't have all of them active.
Okay.
But that seems still really strong just to be able to choose one of them.
Yeah.
Whatever you need.
You just get whatever you need. Yeah.
Yeah.
Seems very toolboxy, which I like.
Yeah.
I don't know how good Terminators are right now, but probably good enough, I imagine.
I mean, they're like the big focus of regular Space Marines.
Well, Chaos Terminators.
So I don't know.
Did Chaos Space Marines get new Terminators? I don't remember.
Well,
because I know they got a big release a little while ago. I kind of like that the last 45-ish minutes have been 40k rules review with painting. Same actually.
This is Jordan's idea.
Hey, you know what? This is one of the things about the stream, right? Is that it's not always all about painting, right? It's a chance for us to hang out and talk about painting a lot, but also, you get to get a little bit of the, fun stuff that we're interested in, like for me, 40k right now.
Also, if Jordan buys more 40k stuff, that's
also, yes, that's very true.
If Jack convinces him to buy whatever they want to see painted. Oh.
Wow, look at this guy. He's a freaking natural. Bending chat to his will to get me to buy 40k models for the benefit of stream. Oh my goodness. Like paint flavors. Sometimes it's about paint licking. How did that come? How did we get to paint licking from chat make Jordan buy models?
We had an order today that was shipped to a Dairy Queen.
I'm sorry, what?
We had an order, and the shipping address was a Dairy Queen.
Did we send it to the Dairy Queen?
Yeah.
Sick.
It's not their first one either.
You should do Necrons, Baby J. I know a guy.
We have Necrons here.
Mo, that sounds very suspicious. Sounds like you want to offload some Necrons.
I have an entire Necron army here.
I know. Also, Mo and I talked the other day, specifically, what is this nonsense? It is in fact nonsense. Hi, Jason. Everybody in chat say hi to Jason. Hi. Paint Monkey Paint. I have been painting. Look, I painted this, painted this, I painted this, and I painted this. Oh, and I showed people how to paint red. I'm doing Paint Monkey things. Nothing to see here, officer. Ghost Sue's right. Star Wars is for nerds? Fine. 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 I'll paint. Here. Paint the blob instead. That doesn't make me a nerd, right?
Is that the Adepticon blob?
Yeah.
It's all covered in random colors.
Yeah. Not anymore. You can
Fix
still
it.
kind of see them though. Because I did a bad job priming.
I remember when he was literally covered in 80 different
He
colors.
was covered in 80 different colors. I primed over him.
For test purposes.
For demonstration purposes only. Oh, we got a cool, like, half painted Obi-Wan. I'm digging it so far. Kind of hate this blend right here though. Needs to get fixed. We're fixing it, chat. We got Jason in here. We got Jason in chat. Feel like you need better aim with the airbrush? Yeah, I got it all over my hands. What's the deal with that? Do we have like a problem with our airbrush compressor or something? The Deathwalker. Now, Dad, can we go back to do silly stuff? Model, paint the model. All right, I'll paint the model. Ah, I'm painting the model. I'm putting paint on the model. Kids these days. Not hands, model. Can't trust anybody? I can trust at least a couple of people. But anybody? Nah. Some people, for sure. Alright, I think I'm pretty happy with the tunic for now. So we're gonna go back to doing some of this armor. We're gonna bring it up. Oh! He's here! He has arrived, chat.
Who let that guy in here?
That guy? On the chair?
That guy.
Yeah, he like hopped in here. He turned on the mic, turned up the volume and everything. He's like talking to chat now and stuff. He's trying to convince them to get me to spend money on models.
That's not what it
Yeah,
said.
well, hold on. He's telling
Yeah, well,
chat
hold on.
to manipulate me to buy models so that they have stuff to watch me paint on stream.
Well, he's gonna buy models.
He's a
anyways.
natural.
Gordon's gonna buy models anyways. So I said, to chat's benefit, if you want to see something painted, suggest it and convince him to buy it.
Oh, that's funny.
Hi, everybody.
Hi. 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 Hi.
I'm trying to hold the world together. Miss Baby J telling us all the secret paint flavors and what to pair their flavor profiles with.
Promise I did not do that.
So I know he said that because flavor profile is a term that only Baby J uses around here.
Gosh darn it.
Outed.
Oh,
Outed
no.
by chat. That's my chat right there. That's my boys.
Oh, no. Yo, if you want orcs, you gotta talk to this guy. He's the orc guy around here.
Also, it was decided to have a meetup at that Mexican place for Jen. For Jen? Huh?
Jen wants, Pino Benito.
There you go. Tonight?
I mean, I don't know about tonight. But it was notified.
I don't feel like a drive
us.
up north is going to happen because I would probably wind up in jail if I had to go sit in traffic right this minute.
Yeah, it's
been a rough day. Not really looking for traffic right now. I'm looking for somebody else to drive me home.
To be fair, Jen didn't actually ask for Chino Bandito. It just came up in chat.
I see.
I'm going to be clear with that one.
I see.
I'm not throwing Jen under the bus. Jen does not deserve being thrown under the bus.
We had we hired one of Jacob's buddies. So we're gonna rip Paul a new one live on stream.
Oh?
We he tracked bright jade through the whole office.
Did he really?
Yeah, he like stepped in bright jade paint and didn't notice it, and like
no.
footprinted it all the way on the new carpet.
Oh my gosh. Does he know?
No.
Oh no.
I thought about texting him just because I was like, wait, you might get it in your car or something like that, but it was all worn out before he got out the
Oh my god.
Before he got out the door, so I didn't bother.
Ugh.
It's been that kind of day.
Oh no.
It's been that kind of day.
I don't even know how to I don't even know.
It's been that kind of day. Carter leaves and it just shows so on the one hand, it's like, is Carter really holding it together for us that well? Because I feel like Carter leaves and it all falls apart.
Oh, no.
It was all a bunch of unavoidable nonsense, though. Like one of the filling machines.
You got a Jen.
Decided to crap out. So we had a line down all day, which is probably a good thing because we needed people to work on other stuff.
Gosh, I hope not.
I have been using that brush.
Sort of.
This?
I used that brush. I took the hairs from that brush and I made the lightning on his axe.
I saw that.
That's what that's for. That's not really a paintbrush. It's just grass that is yet to be
colored,
put where it needs to go.
Yeah.
That is a hobby grass holding handle. And it turns out that grass can also be lightning if you try hard enough.
Legit.
You can't mess with my logic.
Surprisingly so.
I like it, right? It doesn't feel like
for like a house brush. Yeah.
Yeah. Just a big old synthetic brush. We're getting into the house paint brush business. I forgot to tell you. We're gonna start making 4-inch flat house paint brushes.
Might be easier.
You did offer 1 million doll hairs for the Dante.
How we're gonna put them in?
I'm not interested in doll hairs. Dollars. we can have a conversation. I wouldn't even charge you $1 million. I wouldn't even charge you $1 million. I'd say $5,000.
Oh. There you go. Offers on the table, chat. Will anybody rise to the occasion?
Jen's driving to Cheeto Bandito for us tonight.
That is not happening.
Soon?
Yeah.
Are you going to Costco? Have fun with that. Asking for what you need from Costco is a rough one because it's like, no, I don't need a year's supply of anything.
Do you need socks or underwear?
No.
Toilet paper it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
They got everything.
Toilet paper.
Paper towels.
Paper towels. paper goods,
Stocking up.
and a hot dog. Got big plans.
Yeah.
See ya.
See you, Jen.
See ya.
I'll try not to burn myself to death on my walk home tonight.
See ya.
I walked today.
Nice.
Yeah, for the first time. Took me 4 minutes to walk here.
That ain't bad.
I unironically think
It's faster than
to
driving.
walk. Yeah. Yeah.
I saw your car. No.
No, I didn't drive today. 100% did not drive today.
And your car's in the parking garage?
It is in my parking garage.
Oh, okay.
Unless somebody stole it.
Well, there's a car exactly like yours that was parked out
on.
on the street by your apartment, so that's why.
Oh, okay.
Now that you said you walked, I was like, oh, well, I saw. Oh, but I didn't see.
All right, see you. Yeah, it would make definitely.
Is Brennan still over there?
Oh, yeah.
Brennan still over there? I think so. Make sure you check. He's doing starter set singles. He's over there with all the white boxes. Just check on him before you split. Bandito, are you trying to kill the office? Why would you do that? Chino Bandito? Do you have problems with Chino Bandito, Phantom? Does it hurt you? Do you need to show us on the doll? Where Chino... I think there's only one place on the doll where Chino Bandito hurt you.
Yes. Yes.
So this is Obi-Wan?
This is Obi-Wan. Not to be confused with Obi-2 or Obi-3.
But
Obi-Wan. It's Obi-Wan and his various friends who do the who are clones.
But don't. But don't. That place on the doll is the lungs?
What?
You can't schedule a Chino Bandito meetup tonight. It's going to take you 23 hours to drive.
Probably.
Okay, so tomorrow. Obi-2 is his brother's call sign.
Obi-2.
He was a pilot in the RAF. This is a true story, actually. The actor's brother was in the RAF, and they gave him his call sign Obi-2.
Are you serious?
Yep.
That's
I
hilarious.
mean, that's the article and the story behind it. This guy, what's his name? The guy you're painting? The actor?
Obi-Wan? Or the actor, shoot.
Ewan McGregor?
Ewan McGregor, yeah.
Ewan McGregor? Obi-2. Mo, you can buy the dress? What are you talking about? Am I having a case of the Mondays on Tuesday? It's just been a really busy day for me. I apologize I was not able to show up on stream. I definitely would have liked to have been here. We had a issue that had to be corrected immediately on the Signature Series labels. I submitted them for print yesterday at the end of the day, and I had to draw them back this morning and then make the changes and submitted them again before end of day. I got it done. Cha-ching. So, Signature Series 2, along with the varnishes, the matte and the gloss varnish labels are off and in production, or will be in production by end of week, assuming they give me the proofs back to sample. And then once we get that approved, then those paints will be that much closer to being done.
Exciting. Very exciting.
You're an hour south of where Baby J used to be.
Wait, really?
An hour south of, like, the Seattle Metro.
So
what's an hour south? Portland?
Olympia?
Olympia?
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, Olympia's probably closer to, like, half an hour, 45 minutes. But I would assume somewhere in the general vicinity.
Is Olympia on the border?
No. It takes, like, 3 hours to drive to
I guess that's right.
Portland.
I guess Seattle's,
yeah.
like, way up north, huh?
Yeah.
Told you paint flavors for ice cream?
Spat, I used to live in Tacoma. That's where I came from.
Tacoma.
Tacoma. Tacoma.
Seattle South.
Yep. An hour including traffic.
You're just the town that paid a little bit of money in tax reserves to have your name on the airport, too. Nobody knows Tacoma.
Nobody?
Nobody. 2 people. 2 people. You and that guy.
Wait, that guy knows of Tacoma? You know about Tacoma?
No, I was pointing at Spatsnat.
Oh, got it. Looked like you were pointing at Jacob. And I was like, Jacob hasn't been out of this place in his life.
Sure he has. He went to California. Played in a Digimans tournament.
Yeah, where I got the plague. Plague of plagues. He's never seen snow. That is one of my...
He's been to Mexico because he has a
goals.
harrowing tale of coming back across the border without showing his ID.
Jacob?
No, I actually didn't have a passport.
Do we need to have a conversation?
Well, it wasn't too long ago that you didn't need a passport to go to Mexico. You just showed your driver's license.
That's true.
You need a thing on your driver's license?
Enhanced driver's license?
Yeah, I don't have that.
Snow is overrated.
I think it would be a great experience for Jacob to experience snow at least once.
Have you literally never seen snow? Other than in pictures? I mean, it's easy to get to because it's like right up the highway.
We should do
It
that.
just avoids me.
There's a lot of snow right up in Flagstaff.
I'll make it happen.
Or you could feel like you're going to another country and you could go to Albuquerque.
Albuquerque?
You can go to New Mexico in like 9 hours, 8.5 hours.
Oh,
There's snow there too.
I had snow outside the building, but I've never.
What?
Chicago, it was snowed in the morning.
Oh, it did snow in the morning.
Oh, but it went away.
It
Yeah.
melted before I woke up.
Yeah, he was. We were like, oh, it's snowing. Jacob's never seen snow before, and we tried to text him, but he was still sleeping.
I remember you guys saying that, but I was like, it didn't snow because I didn't see any snow.
It snowed for like 10 minutes.
Trust me, after getting blizzarded into places during my life, I could be done with snow and not really feel bad about it.
Yeah.
I know that snow is good, and I'm okay that it happens, but it doesn't need to happen around me anymore. I'm okay with that.
To be fair, if it had blizzarded me in before, I probably would also care very little about snow.
I always get a kick out of thinking, because Jen and I thought about moving the company to Seattle a long time ago, and when it was just me and her, we didn't have any employees. And so I can't imagine if we'd have done that.
Well, I probably would have been working for your company a lot sooner.
A lot sooner.
Yeah, which is really funny.
Yeah.
to
But
think about.
It's just odd to think about, like, what would have happened, what would have been different had we moved it to Seattle. It probably would have failed because we wouldn't have had enough money to pay rent in Seattle.
God, it's so expensive out there.
So expensive. Put your head in an ice box and call it done. Cold doesn't bother me as much. It's just the snow. Snow makes everything really crappy. You know? It's neat to look at. It's really not fun to be in for, like, normal stuff. If you're on vacation and you're, like, skiing or you're hanging out at, like, some place in the snow, I can get with that. Or if you really dig, like, hunting in the snow or something like that, fine. Got it. Right? But there's only so many snow angels you can make before you just get tired of it all.
I like snow for a lot of the same reasons that I like rain. Because one of my, like, if I can think about the most relaxed I could be in an environment doing a thing, it would be sitting on the couch, reading a paperback book while it's snowing or raining outside with, like, a hot chocolate or something. It's like my
I'm with you on the
bliss
cold
territory.
to the point to where it can still rain and be rain. I don't need it to be snowing outside because that produces work for you. And it causes a lot more problems. Well, it does if you're smart because you got to go shovel.
Or I could just stay inside.
Forever?
I mean, it's not going to snow indefinitely.
Till it all melts?
Or it melts enough that you can go places.
Have you been in a big blizzard before?
No, but I'm not living in a place where blizzards like that are going to happen.
All right, I see.
I've never experienced a blizzard that's enough to, like, block my door from it.
Oh, yeah. See, you'll hate snow.
Yeah.
It makes you like, nope, screw this.
But on the bright side, at least I can have the rain part of it, right? And I can still enjoy that.
Yeah. Luckily, at my place in Colorado, I remember to have the door on the barn open inward.
Oh, so that the snow would just come.
So that you could get out.
Yeah.
You know?
The Punisher. Why would anybody move to Seattle on purpose? For exactly the reason I just explained. For one. Also, because Seattle is pretty cool.
Seattle seems like a pretty cool town.
Yeah.
I'm glad I don't live there.
I am also glad that I live there.
When it's so cold you can't start your vehicles and forgot to put a block heater on the night before. Yes, see? Exactly. Not interested.
Here's the other thing that nobody tells you about Seattle that really sucks is if you're trying to go anywhere other than the city you're in, it's terrible.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, oh, hey, I'm on the main freeway. It takes me an hour to go anywhere.
That's kind of like everywhere, though, right? There's a lot of places like that. It's
traffic
like
is really bad.
Too many people.
It's
Too
really
many people. Not enough lanes of traffic.
The nice thing about this area here is that there's a lot more freeways.
The freeway system here is actually okay.
Yeah.
It still gets major traffic.
Yeah.
But this is more like you know which direction to go when, and you're usually pretty on point. Unless there's some special event.
For sure.
Like, rush hour, when it starts, when it stops, what direction it's going. Yep. And you can get a highway that gets you the opposite direction or in there. If you're going the direction of traffic, you're screwed just like anywhere else because it's a big city. But, yeah.
That's the problem,
what I love about Phoenix is that, like, I never have to get on the freeway.
Yeah. Yeah. You just take side roads.
I'm trying to think when the last time I even had to get on a highway was.
I was driving down to somewhere. MP probably.
Yeah, I mean, and you can even get anywhere. You can get to like Tempe Marketplace without going on the freeway, and it's not much slower. Yeah. I used to all the time because I used to go have game night out at a store in the East Valley that will not be named.
Yeah.
And
I was driving my dad to the airport. That's the last time.
Oh yeah, went to the airport.
Yeah.
Even that on the 143 is easy if you took the 143.
That I count that as a freeway.
Yeah, it's kind of like a 2-lane road that goes faster than the rest.
Yes. And to be fair, a good chunk of it is supposed to be 35 miles an hour.
Yeah, I know. It's kind of like a neighborhood road that everybody just goes the highway speeds on.
It looks an awful lot like a freeway. It's marked 35 miles an hour. Everybody drives.
Nobody does less than 50.
Yeah.
Everybody's probably doing 65 because it has no exits. It has Jersey barriers on all sides.
Yes, and it leads to a freeway.
It's literally a freeway.
Yeah, it turns into a freeway.
Yeah.
In fact.
It's the silliest road we have.
It's really bizarre. But it's convenient. It makes it really easy to get down to Tempe from the 51, which is great.
Here in PA during the winter, it's a constant 32 to 36 degrees going between freezing, rain, and snow. You can't stand it. I lived in Allentown for a while. Can confirm winters are brutal.
To be honest, that was a lot of what Seattle was like last year, to be honest. It normally isn't that cold for like consistently long periods of time. Seattle weather was really weird.
Parody, where haven't I lived? I haven't lived in a lot of places. Want me to name them? No, I lived in the ABE. I lived in New York, Connecticut, Pennsylvania, Jersey, Texas, obviously I was born there, Colorado, and California. I think that's it. All right. I think that's all. I've traveled to all the other places, but I've never had to live in any of them, thank God. But I was telling like the movers when they moved our house that for the first 16 years of my adult existence, I moved a minimum of once a year.
Oh God.
Until I was like 30 something.
Yeah.
I moved once a year minimum.
I'm really hoping to not be doing that next year.
I've spent a lot of time in Tennessee, but I've never lived there. You counted up one time how many places you lived growing up. Your wife had moved 5 times and was complaining. You stopped counting at 35. Yeah, exactly.
Stop counting at 30.
Ruben, what's going on?
Ruben, hello.
Double D's, where in Colorado did you live? A place, a little bitty dot on the map called Wellington was my post office, but I lived at the into the Rocky Mountain foothills about 8 miles shy of Wyoming off of the 25. I would go shopping for groceries in Cheyenne. Baca, I already know. Everybody said that Jordan was facilitating your talk about paint flavors.
I was not facilitating anything.
Horrible human beings, all of you.
In fact, I said many, many times, do not touch or do not lick the paint. Do not consume the paint. It is bad for you to do so.
Double D's. Yeah, it was 8 miles south of Wyoming, and I think it was the next to the last or maybe the third to the last exit before Wyoming. I can't remember what all the other exits north of me were irreverent. They didn't matter. There was nothing there, right? He licked the glaze off the model too?
Nope, definitely did not do that.
Oh my God. Hopefully you guys clipped this so we can put it in his file.
Nope, definitely did not do it.
But yeah.
It may have looked like I did it. I definitely did not do it.
Close enough to Wyoming that when they had the big like cowboy festival or whatever it was, that the night sky was lit up at my building. I had 40 acres and I just had a big, huge metal steel building on it that was my shop and where I lived. And you'd sit out in front on a lawn chair in the middle of the night. You get great starry nights, no lights anywhere until it was like Cowboy Fest. I don't remember what they called it. It was like the big rodeo in Cheyenne. And then the sky was saturated with lights from Cheyenne. You had to stop him from fixing, quote, the model that I'm working on, the Dreadnought. Did he come touch my Dreadnought?
I didn't touch anything.
Did you lick my Dreadnought?
Nope.
Okay. The Dreadnought does not look disturbed. Let's ask it. Doing okay, buddy?
Yeah, I'm doing great.
That is not what he is saying, sir.
I don't know what you're talking about.
We'll talk.
Shucks.
He licked everything but the dread. Oh, gross. Gross. Wellington is north of Fort Collins, yeah. That's where my post office was. It took me half an hour to get to the post office in Wellington, I think. And there were, let me see if I can remember this. Not counting fast food, there were 2 restaurants in Wellington. A little Mexican joint and like a bar that did bar food, like burgers. That was, and both of them were open at the weirdest hours in small town America. Really? We're talking small town. Like it had literally a street that led to the highway. That's where the stuff was. A couple of neighborhoods that went off of the main street, and then nothing. It said it had a population of a couple thousand, but I don't know where they were.
I don't know where they were.
I never saw them.
It's like I could account for at least 500.
2 of them worked at the post office all the time, but it was the same 2. 2 old ladies that worked at the post office. I had my post office box. It's when I was doing motorcycle parts, and they weren't ready for me. Nobody used the post office there. Like hardly anybody used the post office there. They had like some suburby kind of neighborhoods that they built around there. And there was quite a few, townhouses and things like that. But they were all people that either worked in Fort Collins or maybe even Denver, making the commute, ridiculous. But cheap houses. So, but the post office was rinky-dink. And I show up in town, and the first day I show up, I drive up in my truck. The first day I'm doing shipments, I drive up in my truck. I've got like 100 boxes in my truck. I have like 100 boxes and pails in my truck. And so I go banging on the door, and I'm like, hey, I'm new to town, so-and-so, here's my thing, blah, 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 blah. I do a lot of shipping. Where would you like it? You don't have a dock. And they just kind of looked, and they go, how many are we talking?
Like 165 packages?
Well, I had one of the things, and it had like 15 packages in it. It was like the small ones that had like T-shirts and small goods in it. I said, I have, I think, 12 of these. And they were looking around like they didn't know where to put it all.
Oh my gosh.
But they were good. They helped, and they actually got it done. But they wouldn't deliver to me. I had to go to town to get my mail and to deliver the mail, the outbound mail.
I mean, that's fine if you...
UPS, FedEx, nobody would come to me. I couldn't get anything delivered out there. I had to have it all delivered to my sister's house. Carter's house.
Oh, yeah.
I'd have to have everything delivered to Carter's house down in Loveland, Colorado, and I'd have to drive down to Loveland to get stuff. They'd call me. Hey, you got some crap.
You got some stuff.
I'm like, oh, good. I needed to do laundry.
That's awesome.
So I drive down there and do laundry at my family's house.
That's funny.
It's donkey butt
Too
flavored
good.
unless we change the additive. Ray knows. Ray knows. $6 to $8 boxes of motorcycle parts in my living room. Get here now. Get here now. I didn't have a living room. All you big fancy people.
All you big fancy people with your living rooms.
I had an old I think it was a 72 or a 69 rip-off of Airstream. It was made by, forget, I think it starts with an F. A company that was trying to ride the Airstream wave back in the early days. It was an aluminum trailer, but it had 3 axles and was super heavy. Where Airstream was trying to be all super light, pull it with any car. Had a big heavy trailer. I lived in a trailer in a building. It was the best pickup line ever. Go to bars, people would ask, "Hey, you're kind of nice. Where do you live?" In a van down by the river.
He was like, "Okay, have a nice day."
It really was crazy. Like there'd be times where people come to visit, and I'd meet them in Fort Collins, and it would be friends of family of all types, and meet them down in Fort Collins because that was easy to find. Have dinner, and then drive back out to my place, and the street lamps ended about 5 or somewhere between 5 and 10 miles from my place.
Oh my gosh.
There's just no light. Nothing.
They're
Every
like-
now and then, a cabin off in the distance with a porch light. Maybe.
That's awesome.
It'd be like moose. You'd be driving down, there'd be like a freaking elk in the middle of the road. That's living. Middle of nowhere. I had to get back to civilization or things were going to get weird. That's why I moved to Phoenix.
There's like some weird like things about that that's really appealing though.
Oh, it's amazing.
Living
I
out
would-
in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, I would say anybody anywhere that you should try living as self-sufficiently as possible for a little bit of time in your life, just to understand. Like I had to have well water, truck my water in from the city, was part of an electric co-op, had to have poles run to the house. There wasn't just this, everything made you realize where stuff comes from, you know, like the local grocery store had nothing. You know, so most of my neighbors raised animals and or gardens, so a lot of the food in my area, because there was a road that went up to the national park that's up that way, and there were families, probably a dozen or so families up along this area that each had large parcels of land, and they all knew each other very well. And so they would have like New Year's Eve parties and stuff like that, and everybody get together, all their kids and stuff like that. And so they invited me in, and all the food was grown by them, cows slaughtered by them, lamb. One of the days, this lady shows up knocking on my door, never met her before in my life, and she's like, "We figured you might like some ground lamb." And I was like, "I would love some ground lamb.
Love some ground lamb.
Thank you very much.
sounds
Might I offer
fantastic.
you something from my larder, which has I had like Michelob. Like Michelob beer in the fridge.
Hey.
And a big thing that was like an old Cool Whip thing that my other neighbor had given me salsa in. I was like, "I have some salsa." The guy's name was Jay. They're like, "No, Jay already gave us some." I could split my salsa with you. Oh, I see you've met Jay.
Yeah.
Isotode, what's going on? Awesome. Glad to hear it. Outhouses aren't fun either. I've only been a couple of places in my life where I had to use an outhouse. It's a little different, but doable. As a kid, we'd go camping in places that only had outhouses.
I've been to do that once or twice.
Yeah, well, automaton, might I offer you these motorcycle parts? Do you happen to have a pre-1970 Harley Davidson that needs a taillight? Yeah, it's crazy, Hairdo. Like, they'd be like, you know, as a city kid, there's a lot of that built into you. That's like when they say, "Hey, you know, we're gonna slaughter one of the cows, or we're gonna slaughter a pig. You know, would you like some meat?" I'd be like, "Oh yeah, I'd love some." And they're like, "Okay, well, we'll set aside like an eighth of a cow for you." You know?
Yeah, and you're like, I don't know where to put an eighth of a cow.
Well, I don't have no idea what an eighth of a cow is.
Well, it's a lot.
It's a lot.
Turns out it's a lot.
It's a lot. Luckily they were like, we just want to make sure that you understand what this means. And when they told me, I was like, oh no. I'll take a couple of pounds of ground chuck.
Yeah. you really have to have like a true
hairdo. Yeah, it's like close to 200 pounds or like 150 pounds of meat. It's like, what in the world am I supposed to do with this?
Yeah.
And when people would do their gardening, it's exactly like Hairdo's saying. It's like, you want some cucumbers? Sure. And it's like 8 5-gallon buckets later. You're like, so does a human being eat this much cucumber normally? Because I feel like this is not regular.
Yeah. It's crazy.
But they pickle and they do all this other stuff, and you learn. They also make good hooch if you like moonshine.
Mm-hmm.
Turns out people in the country know how to make moonshine.
Probably very good too.
Makes your eye twitch and your vision cone in.
Oh really?
Yeah. Oh my god.
Gosh.
Tastes like apples and cinnamon.
I could do with that.
Yeah, it tastes like apple pie.
That sounds
Makes
great.
you blind. Take the good with the bad. Living in the country. You learned how to make pickles. You traded pickles for sweet corn whiskey. See? You know what the barter system works like. I did welding. So I took my city boy trades, and I would trade people in the country for city boy stuff. I know how to weld.
There you go.
Without using a coat hanger and an arc welder. I would go look at these people's trailers, and they literally would use coat hangers as the material, and arc weld coat hanger, and it looked like somebody had thrown up on the trailer hitch. I grind all that down, put a nice weld on it. And those people, you only had to do one welding job for them, and they would give you whatever you wanted for the rest of your life because it looked like new.
Yeah.
You know?
Neighbor shows up with a mason jars of booze, and I gave him a case of pickles.
Exactly.
Nice.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, nobody needed my motorcycle parts, but everybody would hang out and just sit around and listen to stories. Nicest people ever. I told the story about one of my neighbors had their whole family, their business that they ran was cleaning out the silo dredge from coal plants. From coal-fired power plants have these big silos
interesting.
where the coal goes into the furnace,
Yeah.
right, and drives the whole furnace system for creating energy. And after they burn off the coal, it's all this soot and dredge and sludge that gets down, and it becomes like concrete, and it's like meters thick at the bottom. And so every now and then it takes up so much of the real estate in there, you have to go in and blast it out. So they core drill it down, and they throw in like oh god, not dynamite, not regular TNT, the liquid stuff.
Starts with an N.
Nitroglycerin.
Nitroglycerin.
Yeah, so like nitroglycerin and stuff, but they make like all this fandangle new stuff. It's like nitroglycerin, and it looks like it's a gobstopper, and it bounces.
What the heck?
Yeah. Yeah.
What?
Yeah. So scariest moment of my life, I walk him, the guy throws it at me.
Oh my god. You're like, ah!
He throws it at me. I catch it. I'm like, what is this? He goes, nitro, and I'm like,
what? Why are you throwing nitro at me? Oh my gosh.
And yeah, they were crazy. But they had a federally licensed depot that was dug down in the ground and had a what do you call it? Not a yurt, that rounded Quonset hut looking building, right? It's just a half a cylinder sitting on the ground. But it was dug like 8 foot deep, and that's where all the explosives that they had to catalog were. And they were with the Federal Registry. They had to make sure everything they bought and sold and everything was registered because it was like basically, mass terrorism type stuff, right?
Yeah.
Tons and tons of bomb making stuff because it was bomb stuff.
You didn't have to do much to turn it into bombs.
No, it really was. It was just bombs.
Put it in a container.
Yeah. Put it in stuff.
Yeah.
Slap it on the wall. And they had it all. One of the neighbors who moved in from Denver, there was a couple that moved in with their kids from Denver. I've told the stories about the Eagles and the Hawks taking their dogs. Have you been around when I talk about that?
No.
These people were horrible people. Like they would call the county on us because like a neighbor would have a tractor in his front land out towards the street side. Mm-hmm. And it was the guy that plowed the snow. So he kept his tractor out there. And they thought it was a derelict vehicle. So they would call the county saying, you need to come get this derelict vehicle. It's just a tractor. It's like a $80,000 tractor that he plows snow off the road with and does all his grading on his land. And these people were just horrible city people. who had they only wanted to be out there because of the beautiful views, right? So they built this god-awful mansion. Nobody else had a god-awful mansion anywhere. They built this god-awful mansion and found out that the neighbors had explosives and petitioned the county and the government, and one of the elected officials for the state started a petition and had them have to move it.
Oh, and they actually had to move it?
Yeah, because it was a threat to the children of the neighborhood, they said.
Oh my God.
I was like, it's been there longer than you've had dreams of living in the country. Yeah, they made them move it.
City people are actually the worst.
One of your friends does a ton of gardening, so you go over there for board games and leave with random vegetables. Yeah, when you do it like big time, these kids would do 4-H, right? So that all the neighbor kids would do 4-H, and they'd come home with like a pig and a goat and all this stuff, and raise the goat. You'd learn the goat's name. They'd have them all out in the pen, and then at the end of it, you had to slaughter it or sell it, right? So it's like, oh my God, we'd be eating bacon BLTs or something, and it's like you knew the pig. It was very, very relatable.
That's
like little Joey sure did taste good. All right, it's 5:13. Time to go.
Time to go.
Some city people do suck.
Thanks for hanging out, chat. You guys have been great.
Sorry I wasn't here. I came in at the end and railroaded you guys, so.
Railroaded us.
Thanks for hanging out, watching some paint dry with Mr. Baby J.
Mr. Baby J.
Mucho apreciado. Hopefully I'll be back again tomorrow so you have both of us painting. But the wonderful Star Wars butts that he's over there painting.
The butts. Nothing but the butts.
Now you want hog jowl. Oh, Jesus. Tell me you're from Oklahoma without saying you're from Oklahoma. Remember, if you haven't already, hit that follow button. And we stream 5 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Like tomorrow coming up is our hobby lunch. Starts at noon Pacific time here in the U.S. and goes till 2. Tuesdays and Thursdays like today, we start at 2 and we go to 5. Or 5:13. Love to see you back here as many times as possible. Jen with all the links. No, it's Baby J with all the links.
Jen's at Costco.
That's right. Jen's at Costco buying toilet paper.
I will take care of Jen.
You got your keyboard to work.
I figured out what it was.
It needed to be turned on.
No. Weirder.
What?
So, first off, the mouse and the keyboard are one.
Yes.
Didn't know that. 2, every once in a while, the mouse freezes.
Sleeps.
Goes to sleep. I had to click it to turn it on.
Yes.
I did that, then the keyboard. Sorry.
Yes. Okay. There we go. Check out the links. Join us on the Discord if you do nothing else. Wonderful community of people talking art and fart jokes. We'd love to have you come join us. Secondary on that is go check out the store. Buy some wonderful paint from us. The manufacturers of Acryl, if we haven't said that a million times already. Paint awesome stuff. Keep being cool artists. We will catch you back here tomorrow. Stick around. We're going to raid somebody. We'll see you on the flip side.
See you guys.